Spring arrived, preceded by a thaw to break the chill of the darkest days, followed by a surge of storms and showers. While the village of Hovel was no longer frozen, it was still cold and damp. What better place to spend your time than a tightly insulated, warm hearth, with good drink and better meat? On special today was fresh pork shank from pigs fattened by winter clove, and I expected a brisk business. Sure, there was the mess down the road with the Green Dragon of Red Dragonsville, but there was no chance that would roll easternly back upon us. Westmarch's problems were for Westmarch's people. Now, it come to my attention that some of you believe I run this inn rather conservatively, taking as few risks as possible. You are correct. But for your sake, and to entertain you, I shall tell you the tale of a day where we went all out. We would not stop until all the employees were exhausted, or the coin run out, or the inn shut down from events beyond our control. We began the day with a request for mead. Some called it the Skin Changer's Delight, as werebears were known to slake their thirst with this sweet beverage. There could be none other than Caratina to put the hard physical labor in for this drink. This batch was a delight, for the morning crew loved it. The passing traveler whose order had set off the entire house to order it waited behind. With the work group gone, she flipped back her hood, revealing herself to indeed be a skin changer. She gave a tight smile and a quiet nod, leaving silently behind an extravagant set of adventuring gear. Ravosi harness, 2 blades, arcane focus, short bow. Recognizing she valued her privacy more than effusive thanks, I gave her a quiet nod and knew to mark her, or if she returned, she would receive the house's finest service. After a bit of time, mid-morning townsfolk rolled in, looking for a bit of gossip. Snowbirds returning after winter, an extended family of halflings had taken to semi-regular elevensies service at the fourth wall. What they really wanted, however, were stories to be told, legends from far and wide, and I had just the man at hand to satisfy such desires. While Caratina and I quietly tended to the kitchen, Steve Gary was sent in with a pipe full of leaf and a head full of tales. After inserting a bit of morality play into 2 dragons in the northern sky, the halflings had a fill of meat and mead, got back about their business, leaving 2 coins on the table. By lunch, we were serving a single dragonman god. Having sheltered a caravan from the furthest east for many months, he was looking forward to a bit of rest and reward. He ordered oryx ton, and fortunately we had a shipment in fresh from Besaid. Steve Gary was a man who enjoyed a fine steak, and this tongue was prepared quite well. A nice searing, of course, but the seasonings. He went all out. Salt, 2 kinds of pepper, garlic, and onion powdered, paprika. There were 20 ingredients from 3 continents rubbed, no, slathered onto this bovine beast before it was served. I slipped the locket of hoots into Steve's pocket as he began the roasting stage in the oven. It was almost expended of its magic, but this customer deserved our finest services. In but a few bites, the dragon man consumed it wholly, not stopping to cut it using utensils. Belching flame, he said in the common tongue, "Tastes like chicken," and left, refusing to elaborate. Under his plate, he left 5 gold pieces, ashamed to be seen leaving charity, as is the customs of the dragon people of Harvadas. I would offer a prayer to the god of roads and coin for his safe return to his people many leagues away. Afternoon tea service was set out just as a group of hedge knights arrived, shouldering their way through the door. Tracking mud and blood in their wake, their plate and mail creaked as the chairs groaned under their weight. These men and women were almost comical in their perfect, precise manners, pinkies extended. The tea rituals of the Knights Advant required both passion and sincerity, and my left-hand man was whom I could send to this field of battle. Once more, I slipped Bloodstaff's pendant into his pocket. The magic within would aid him during this task. We could not risk failure with the heavily armed and highly standardized folk. Garrick the Green stood as the last cup was set before the knights and bowed, and the whole entourage lined up and offered a deep thanks for the precision and manners Steve offered them. It had been some time since they had last had a solid peace ceremony that respected their arcane and archaic ways. Garrick gave a speech that wandered this way and that, but we were all emboldened by a careful message of prosperity, peace, and goodwill towards all. By late afternoon, mining crews were back in town, and in a grave blunder they ran into the logging crews. Gorlak the ogre took too much offense from an offhand remark from a dwarven axeman, and suddenly a bar fight broke out in my very fine, very expensive, very distinguished and well-mannered establishment. I am Count Ronald Swan, and what better place than here, what better time than now to wade down into the fray and settle this disagreement once and for all. Unfortunately, I alone was not enough to control two groups of burly fellows in their cups. My staff fell in to help me, and their morale was exhausted, leaving them with little ability to participate in further events today. Closing up shop early, I sat down and talked to them about training. Both had gained enough experience on their own to advance in their vocations, and by dropping another 10 coin on materials, I would give them a second chance at staff advancement. Last season, we had upgraded the staff quarters, which left them both eager and able to attend classes. They both improved their morale, Caratina by quite a bit, and Caratina improved her strength while Steve set to the books. Next time, we promised each other, we would remain open even longer. The dark of the evening was when the big coin was to be made, and we could reach that if we tried. Thank you for joining me, and see you soon.